Hey, what is up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to change the radiator on a 2008 Acura TSX. So, first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to jack up the car. And safety first, we're going to put a jack stand under there. Okay guys, first thing we're going to do on the car, the radiator itself, this radiator cap right here. All you got to do is untwist it. A lot of times you can just do it with your hand. Got a drain pan right there. So, it's simple as just taking it off. So as you can see here, I'm going to be taking it off and it starts flowing. So just make sure you're ready to clean up in case it spills everywhere. While that's draining, I'm going to go ahead and take off the radiator cap. It's just going to make it easier for everything to flow off. Next, there's going to be 4 screws we're going to have to take off. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then there's going to be 4. These are all going to be 10 millimeter. So you can just use a 10 millimeter ratchet or a ratcheting wrench, whatever is easier for you. As you can see here, I'm going to use my ratchet for all 4. So, once we have all these 4 removed, we are good to go to the next step. Next up, I'm going to be removing this hose from the coolant reservoir. Just take it out with your hand. Next thing, there's going to be 2, again, 10 millimeter bolts on this coolant reservoir. Might be a little easier to take off that second bolt if I take off the radiator hose up top. So I think that's what I'm going to do first. So for this hose clamp right here, I'm just going to use my trusty pliers and I'm just going to move it on back. Pretty easy, guys. Next thing you can do, sometimes it might be a little hard to take off. You can use like something like a screwdriver, just pry it off a little and it should come out just like that. Just move it over to the side and we can move on to the next step. Now we have pretty easy access to both of these bolts. So again, 10 millimeter comes right off and I can just set this over to the side for now. So for the passenger side fan, there's going to be a connector right here. Mine actually broke, but all you would have to do is slide that out. And now for this bottom one, there is a little pin that you're going to have to take out. Not sure exactly what they're called, but you can just squeeze in some pliers in there. It's that little gray tab, I guess you could call it, in there. So I'm just going to show you guys here. You can fit in some pliers if you just take off those screws. So for this connector right here, there is a little tab at the bottom right there you got to press and it should slide right out. Now for this bottom one right here, there's going to be another tab that you just sort of have to press and then you have to slide it up. So just like that, that's out. Just so you guys can see, it's that tab right there I'm going to be pressing down. Just press that tab down and it should slide right out. Now, that should be those 3 things just for this fan. So once those 3 things are off, you are good to just take it right out. Next up, this other side on the driver's side, again, there's going to be a connector. Same type of connection. Just take it off. And then if you just wiggle it around some, this fan should come right out. Again, it's just one connector for this one. So now, we have to take these things at the bottom. There's going to be 2 hose clamps. And this special type of hose clamp, there's a little gray clip we got to take off. I'll show you in a second. And the coolant temperature sensor. Okay, so we're going to start off by taking off this one. This one can be hard to take off sometimes. All you got to do is slide this clip back and you should be able to slide it right off. For me, I just replaced this radiator a week ago, but I broke off a clamp, so I got to replace it again. But you might need to use a screwdriver. Next, you're going to take off these 2 hose clamps. I find that access is easier from the bottom and it should slide right out. Just like that, guys. Totally normal. If some transmission fluid leaks out, don't worry about it, guys. Now just do the same thing for the other side. This one actually was a pain to get out, but it's doable, guys. Again, just slide it right off. Some fluid might leak out. Now I'm going to take off this coolant temperature sensor. Just a little tab you got to press down. And we are going to have to take off this connector right here. I'm just going to use my pliers. I'm going to press it down. It's going to come right out. Now there's going to be 2 tabs up top. We're going to remove a couple of these pins over here just to make access easier. You could take all of them off, but I'm just going to take 3 off just so I can access this bolt right here. You can use a special tool or you can use 2 screwdrivers. All you got to do is you got to pull this little pin in the middle out and then you should be able to just pull it right out. See, we're going to have some space here. and that's the 10 millimeter. Again, it's a 10 millimeter. You can just put a ratchet in there and we should be able to ratchet right out. For this other side, it looks like some previous owner might have cut mine off. I'm not sure, but if that wasn't the case, you could just remove the pins. Again, 1, 2, and it's come right off. So when that's done, you got all connections undone. You just take the radiator out, and that's all you need to do, guys. So you are going to have to replace your coolant temperature sensor to the other radiator. So just take it off. It's 17 millimeter, and you should be good to go, guys. Overall, guys, it's not that bad of a job. Make sure your new radiator matches up to your old one. Installation is really just doing the reverse of what we just did. If you have any questions, make sure to leave it in the comments, like, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.